In today's My Carolina Legal Advice, Stephanie Jenkins is here from Gaylord Wallace Hunt, and today we're talking about the very complex and emotionally driven alimony issue or spousal support, and there's a number of different things that lead into that. It's complicated.
It is complicated, and there are a number of different terms that I may use interchangeably when we talk about this topic. Spousal support being the global topic, but in North Carolina, two subsets of that would be post-separation support, and then the more commonly known term is alimony.
Now, post-separation support, because North Carolina has one of the lengthier separation requirements, a full year before that marriage is dissolved. Is that correct? Is that why you have to have this agreement?
Could be one of the reasons. North Carolina does require that you be separated for a year prior to the time that you can file for divorce, and so that may have been part of the legislature's thinking about post-separation support. But post-separation support is also for people who might not be entitled to long-term alimony. If you look at all of the conditions and restrictions on it, maybe they're not going to get a long-term support award, but a court could find that, they need a year, 2 years worth of support to help them get back on their feet, get the credentials if they've been in the home for a period of time. So they'll give them some post-separation support without finding that they're entitled to a long-term support award.
Now, the long-term support would be that alimony agreement.
Right.
Or disagreement.
Well, and it frequently,
this is more of the roses here.
Well, no, alimony or spousal support is frequently one of the things that you'll have to go to trial over. People really will disagree about whether one or the other of them is entitled to support from the other. And there are lots of things that go into that. Emotions are really high by the time people separate, and there's going to be a lot of finger pointing about whose fault it is that you're separating, and why should I have to pay support for somebody who has 3 degrees, even if that person hasn't worked in 10 years. And so when emotions are high, it's easy to point fingers and say there's not enough money to go around. And so frequently one of the issues that I try is spousal support. People will say, pay anything for my kids, but he's not getting a dime or she's not getting a dime.
And does that kind of thing ever work out? I mean, it's such,
that she's not getting a dime.
Yeah, no, it doesn't usually work like that. He or she's.
It's usually not clear cut whether exactly how much a person might get if you go to court. But I can usually tell my clients with some degree of experience and certainty whether the other spouse is going to get something.
Sure.
It's usually going to be how much and for how long.
Right. Now, I think that there's always an assumption, or because of cultural and social influences, certainly in the past it always seemed that the male partner was paying the female partner, but not so much anymore, because a lot of times women are the breadwinners at this point.
Yes, that's true.
Are you seeing more and more of that, where the alimony is actually reversed to what we were used to seeing?
I would have to say in the cases that I have tried recently, I don't see the bias if you are a man asking for support that I used to. There's still some of it there, my experience, but it's not nearly as entrenched as it used to be, that mindset.
Because things have changed
so
much.
Absolutely.
And there's actually probably a lot more men who are becoming caretakers of their children, caring for their home, more so than you would have seen in the past.
It is certainly more accepted in 2010 that a husband is the one who is staying at home, getting the children to school, getting them from school, that sort of thing, than it was even when I started practicing almost 20 years ago. It's certainly more accepted that they are putting their careers aside, they being the men in the relationship, and letting the woman in the relationship further her career. And judges, I think, they realize
They're
that.
realizing that, sure. Well, there's so much more to this issue. If you would like to learn more about it, it is on our website. Stephanie, thank you again.
Thank you.
Go to mycarolinatoday.com. Just click on My Carolina Today Legal Advice, and you can read all about it.